When I was young, you woke me with the sound of song. The wind and rhythm drew me along. I echoed in the hymn of the dawn. I turned and turned, this dance that all the planets learned, in circles round the stars as they burn. I praise you as I orbit and turn, declaring glory.
Good morning, Hope College. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to chapel. It's midterm week. We're tired, but you're here. You chose to be here in the house of the Lord this morning. So let's stand and worship together.
No place that I'd rather be. No place that I'd rather be. No place that I'd rather be than here in your love, here in your love. No place that I'd rather be. No place that I'd rather be. No place that I'd rather be than here in your love, here in your love. To set a fire down in my soul that I can't
Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with a willing spirit.
Yes, Spirit, come and fill this place. Let your glory now invade. Spirit, come and fill this place. Let your glory now invade.
All right, guys, sing with me, Set a Fire.
Spirit, come
Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't control and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. So set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you.
Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me. Come awake me from my sleep. Roam through the caverns of my soul, calling me to overflow. Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me. Come awake me from my sleep. Roam through the caverns of my soul, calling me to Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain, that I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. Pray with me, please. God, thank you for this space. Thank you for giving us the gift of music. We ask that you be with our speaker today and that you bless the words from his mouth. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Nina, for that prayer. Hi, I'm Nancy Smith. I'm one of the chaplains here at Hope College, and it is a delight to be with you. We're going to be journeying through the book of Philippians. We're in the second chapter today, and we're also going to introduce the immersion trips. So we want you to sign up. It is going to be opening up today. But first, I want you to meet a friend. This is Dustin Height. He had, you have some friends here. So Dustin and some friends, they hosted us in Texas. It is called Community First Village. and along with other friends, and I do see a familiar face, Blair. We're happy that you are here too. So he says, "You guys rock." So, and if you want to meet Blair tonight, you can meet him. We'll have an event, and we'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But we are delighted that you are here. You shared your community with us, and now we love that both of you can meet our community. So, sign-ups today, students. We would love for you to pray about an opportunity that happens during spring break. And as you can see on this, if we could have maybe the sign-up, that would be great. You can use the QR code. That will lead you to what trips we do. So we're not going to go through all the trips, but there's many choices, and they're all amazing sites. They love to host us. They love you, Hope students. You are truly amazing. And I've traveled with many of you, and it is a delight to do that. So I would love to share with Dustin. Sorry, I was going to say Blair. Dustin, we're going to just open up a passage, and we would love for you to listen. It is found in Philippians 2:25 through 30. And we're going to read it, and then we're just going to do a little reflection together.
But I think it is necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother, co-worker, and fellow soldier, who is also your messenger, whom you sent to take care of my needs. For he longs for all of you and is distressed because you heard he was ill.
Indeed, he was ill, and he almost died, but God had mercy on him. And not on him alone, but also on me, to spare me sorrow upon sorrow. Therefore, I am all the more eager to send him, so that when you see him again, you may be glad, and I may have less anxiety. So then, welcome him in the Lord with great joy, and honor people like him, because he almost died for the work of Christ. He risked his life to make up for the help you yourselves could not give me at that time. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So, Dustin, what are some few things that we can learn from this passage?
Yeah, I love how it even just starts out with saying, Epaphroditus, my brother, co-worker, and fellow soldier, who is also your messenger. Paul calls Epaphroditus brother because he recognizes that we're all part of God's family. Mm-hmm. Even if we aren't related by blood, we are God's children and united by our love for one another. So you have Texas. You have family in Texas that you don't know yet.
Brothers and sisters. That's right. That is right. I love this passage because it talks about that Paul had co-workers. And so Epaphroditus was one of them. And just the passage before, it talks about Timothy was a co-worker, and he did not do this alone. In fact, Philippians, the book, actually starts out saying, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel, referring to the Christian community in Philippi. So we do this together.
And he says, whom you sent to take care of my needs. And we all have needs, but some are especially burdened. And Jesus led by example in tending to the needy and elevating the importance of sharing our resources, living an incarnational lifestyle of witness and support. Mm-hmm. And here we see the early church doing the same, following Jesus' example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it inspires us to follow his example for caring for the poor and the marginalized. I think this passage really reflects a strong friendship. Epaphroditus and Paul, they developed this strong friendship. And in so much, it's described, I think, very deeply. Paul was moved when he said, spare me sorrow upon sorrow. Mm-hmm. And that is really a deep friendship when you have sorrow when you see a friend.
Yeah. It also says, so then welcome him in the Lord with great joy and honor people like him. And may we welcome and honor all people that come across our path, recognizing the imago Dei in one another, mm-hmm. seeing with the eyes of Jesus toward people around us causes us to be generous, mm-hmm. hospitable, and caring, rather than self-focused or just completely distracted, mm-hmm. or maybe even tribal.
Yes. And I think that Community First does that well. That these are kind of the stories that come out of just our students that have visited there. So I would love for you to tell a little bit about this amazing place.
I'd be delighted to. Yeah, thank you for having me. So Community First is, first of all, it's a one-of-a-kind place in Austin, Texas. It's a master-planned tiny home community that lifts people off the street and gives formerly homeless folks the stability of a home and a place where they can get the help they need and begin to heal. By around 2030, we'll be fully built out and have 1,900 homes, which is just incredible. But it's not just a place. Beyond the buildings, it's also a community. There are almost 400 people, neighbors, who currently live at Community First Village. And for many, it has become the family that they never had. Neighbors who greet you by name, opportunities to connect throughout the week, like soup night, pickleball, the on-site community garden, which you've been to, card tournaments, and no fences. Everyone has a front porch, no fences. We say the single greatest cause of homelessness is a catastrophic loss of family. So we have built our community with a culture of connectedness and fellowship to give our neighbors the support so they can begin to heal from all those traumas they've endured. So it's a place in Texas, it's an intentional community, and it's also a treasure hidden in the fields of East Austin. You really have to see it to believe it. In fact, when my wife and I, Christina, who first flew from our hometown in Illinois to Austin, and we took a tour of the village in 2019, and we were blown away with the beauty of it all. But not just the outward beauty, really feeling the tangible culture of love and dignity, full of God sightings, right, around every corner. So much so that we felt called by God to join the good work that was happening at Community First as missional residents who feel called to live alongside our formerly homeless neighbors. So for about 2 years now, we've lived in the community supporting our neighbors, and our 2 daughters, who are 11 and 12, love it. Some days we walk our neighbors' dogs. Some days we say hi to people as they walk by. Other days we hold prayer services for a person who's passed away. We throw birthday parties, we host movie nights, we visit people in the hospital, and we compete in the pickleball tournament. I'm currently the reigning champ.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We sing at open mic night, which this whole front row got to do, and we listen as people share their stories with us. We build trust, we show up, and we encourage people in their journeys of faith and recovery. But it's not just one-sided. Our neighbors bless us too. They bring my daughters thoughtful gifts, and they mow our lawn. They offer to pick up groceries for us, and they greet me by name every day. They inspire me to live more generously and less hurried. Blair inspires me to be grateful for every day and the gifts it brings.
The Lord's there every day, but the community spirit, because they give us much, we give them.
Yeah, it's a give
It's a
and take.
mutual.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Beautiful.
My neighbors notice when I'm out of town. We'll have a lot of questions when we get back. And they offer me iced tea in the brutal Texas summer,
We
which
all
is
need it.
important. These precious children of God who were once homeless have become our friends and family to us, much like our Uncle Blair. We could have never imagined it. This community is such a treasure and an obvious expression of God's kingdom on earth. So we sold everything that we had and are happy to live in a 400 square foot tiny home, just like the rest of our friends.
Very cute, though.
We'd love to host you all this spring and show you the place, but we won't be upset if you choose one of the other trips.
That could be a problem, hosting all of us, but
Yeah.
we would love to send them all.
Yeah.
So tell us specifically what your role is. You're a neighbor, which you described really well, but I
Yes.
know you're kind of moved into a different role, and I'd
Yeah.
love for them to hear about that
Yeah,
opportunity.
so in addition to being a missional resident, I now lead a partner organization that's on site called The Gathering, and we have a Sunday night
Yeah,
service
yeah.
just like you all.
Yep.
And The Gathering focuses on meeting the spiritual care needs of the residents and the staff. And so I offer a pastoral presence throughout the week. I lead our Sunday night gathering. We have Bible studies and small groups throughout the week, and prayer meetings and retreats, and I guess me hosting you all is kind of an extension of that.
Yes, and you did a really lovely job.
Yeah.
And the neighbors. So you got to just get a little picture of our immersion trips that we offer. This is just one site, and we have other ministry partners that welcome us. Anywhere we go, we do not do this alone. And I think just like this passage, Paul, he was called, he shared the gospel, he had a transformational experience, but he didn't keep it to himself, and he discipled people, and people with him then shared the wonderful story that Christ offers to us.
Yeah.
And so, that is part of the immersion trips. So if you, PC, if you don't mind putting the our poster up for, or I should say slide, but it's a poster all over. And that's what I wanted to bring up, is if you see this and you, and if we can go to the white one, sorry. There is a QR code that you're going to see all over campus, and I would love for you to seriously consider a trip. What is an immersion trip? So if you are a freshman, you are probably saying, what is an immersion trip? And some of you have done short-term mission trips in your church, and they'd be very similar. We just we call them immersion trips because we would like you to enter into a community and immerse into that community. And there will be a different culture, and it's an opportunity to learn and serve together as a community from Hope. It's a very relational experience, and that's what we experienced in any trip. We're highlighting Texas today, but any trip is going to lead you into experiential learning. And in that, you can see how God is working, and God is so clearly working in your community. And it's just inspiring to see that God uses all of us. And that's what we want you to just get a little picture of and a glimpse of God's good work. And he has such a big heart for the marginalized and the poor. And when we get to enter in, you don't have any classes, you don't have any homework, you can just fully engage and be present with people. That incarnational ministry.
It's so good to be exposed to people from a different walk of life. And,
Yes.
And Austin's a fun place to visit too.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And I
And
don't
Baltimore,
apologize.
Florida, right?
So we have Baltimore, we have Florida, and I don't apologize for it being fun. I mean, would you not agree it was fun? And many of you went on immersion trips. So if you have had that experience, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're hearing about something like this for the first time, I would really encourage you to pray about it and maybe call your parents about it. You don't have to be at a certain spiritual level to do this. We want anyone to join a team. You will feel welcome. And that's one thing that I find is there is belonging in the groups that develop, and there is belonging into these communities that we get to enter into. And we learn from our partners. It is definitely experiential learning. So if you want to hear more, though, specifically about Hope for the Homeless and a beautiful model, it is a national model. And if you would like to meet Blair, he is going to tell his story, and Dustin will continue his
tonight.
story.
Yeah, meet Blair.
And it's,
You will
yep,
too.
yep. And so tonight, it will be at Martha Miller, 6 o'clock. Love to have you come out. It's going to be just an informal chat, and there will be opportunities for you to ask questions. Go in peace.
See you later.
Yep.